Welcome to the sky, playing for the most exciting game which man has yet devised. They call the game sport parachuting or skydiving, and some 25,000 Americans have made it their hobby. The real vital core of the game is the free fall. Though hurtling toward the earth at an average speed of 120 miles per hour, the parachutist experiences no sensation of falling once he has accelerated to this terminal velocity. The sensation is rather one of buoyancy, similar to the sensations experienced by the underwater swimmer immersed in his element. Using the flowing air to his advantage, the free-falling parachutist can cavort in the sky with exuberant abandon, performing turns, rolls, and loops, which would arouse the envy of the finest earthbound acrobat. It is, therefore, with reluctance that, having descended to an altitude of 2,000 feet above the ground, he must pull the ripcord in ending the free fall. The game, however, is not yet over, for there remains yet another challenge equal to that of the free fall, the challenge precision. For on the ground below, on the drop zone as it is called, is displayed a target in the center of which is a tiny bullseye disc on which the parachutist will strive to land. The modern sport parachutist is no longer at the mercy of the fickle winds, as were the barnstorming spot jumpers of yore, for the contemporary sport parachute is closer kin to the glider than to the predecessors in the parachute field. With an average forward speed of 15 miles per hour, these highly maneuverable parachutes may be turned, banked, stalled, or even backed up, all at the will of the jumper. Equipped with such a canopy, the skilled sport parachutist can consistently land right on the target. Each jumper packs his own main parachute, and for an added measure of safety, also wears a reserve parachute, which is packed by a federally licensed parachute rigger. In addition to two parachutes, special jump boots, coveralls, protective helmets, and instruments to keep the jumper aware of his altitude above the ground protect the jumper in any situation he might encounter in the course of the game. Before a person is allowed to actually step out of an airplane in flight, however, he must first satisfactorily complete a rigorous training course at one of the hundreds of sport parachuting clubs or commercial parachuting centers around the country. The required training includes the techniques for exiting the aircraft, stabilized fall, operating the main parachute, coping with any problems which might require the use of the reserve parachute, the technique of landing, called PLF, short for parachute landing fall, and the skill of repacking the main chute. In short, the student parachutist learns how to do everything which may be required of him in the sky before he ever makes that first jump. And even then, he's not ready for the free fall, for he must first make at least 5 static line jumps on which his main parachute is activated automatically by a lanyard attached to the airplane. Once he is allowed to begin free fall, the novice sport parachutist gradually progresses from short to longer free falls as he learns the techniques for stability and maneuvering. parachutist's skill has developed to the point where he is in complete control of his motion through the air, he can begin what most experienced jumpers consider the most difficult and most enjoyable form of free-fall amusement, relative work, in which two or more jumpers exit the aircraft on the same pass over the drop zone, maneuvering together to join hands or to fly in formation during the free fall. Ever since the days of the barnstormers, parachuting has been one of the most exciting of the spectator sports, and no celebration is complete without a demonstration jump by the local sport parachute club, whose trailing ribbons of colored smoke and drifting, brightly patterned canopies add immensely to the festive carnival atmosphere of any air show or county fair. When the summer's heat becomes stifling, the most invigorating way to cool off is to take the cynic's advice and go jump in the lake. So far, though, it seems that we have evaded the basic question, is this a sport? To qualify as a sport, a recreational activity must have the essential element of competition. Competitive parachuting is probably one of the most truly international sports to come on the scene since the time of the Greeks. In the United States, where hundreds of privately sponsored sport parachuting competitions are held each year, the United States Parachute Association sponsors annual conference elimination meets, qualifying the top competitive parachutists from across the nation to enter the U.S. National Parachuting Championships. In competition, the jumper is scored on his skills in free-fall maneuvering, called style, and in control of the parachute, called accuracy. In the style event, judges observe through high-powered telemeters as competitors perform a required set of figure eights and back loops called the International Series during free fall. The competitor's score is based on both the speed and precision with which he performs the series. Let's look at a series from the jumper's viewpoint. In the accuracy event, the competitor is scored on how close he lands to the target's dead center disc. And in these meets, the precision control which the jumper can exercise over his canopy becomes most obvious. And appropriately enough, for the stakes are high. The top 10 competitors at each year's national championships, 5 men and 5 women, are chosen to comprise the United States parachute team, which represents this nation against similar teams from about 40 other nations in the biennial World Parachuting Championships and other regularly scheduled international competitive parachuting matches. Even though matched against professional parachuting athletes from the Soviet bloc countries, these amateurs of the U.S. parachute team have consistently upheld our national honor by capturing numerous medals and world champion titles in these international meets. Competitive parachuting is also growing rapidly in popularity as an intercollegiate sport in this country, under the leadership of the USPA's affiliate, the National Collegiate Parachuting League. The league's annual National Collegiate Parachuting Championships draw strong and able teams from many colleges and universities across the nation. Despite all this, however, parachuting is primarily a recreational activity for most of its practitioners in this country, and it's certainly a flexible one as outdoor sports go. For, weather permitting, one can immerse himself in the beauty of the sky at any time of the day or night. And there's open sky over every state of every nation on this earth. This, then, is the sport of the space age.